What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are playing Farming Simulator 2015. Now, this game has been very highly anticipated. It's been in the works for a while. I'll be the first to say that I am no pro at Farming Simulator. I am not some crazy, super experienced Farming Simulator veteran, but I like to kind of try my hand at different games. And this is definitely a game that I guess you could say intrigues me, and hopefully you guys enjoy this episode and this video, and we'll see what we can do. We'll see where we can get in the game, and if you guys really want me to continue it, then I'll definitely see what we can do. So we're starting up Bjornholm. I think it looks a lot more interesting, obviously, than the U.S. map. The U.S. map is a little bit more just kind of flat, and it's not quite as interesting as the Bjornholm map. Now, would I like a short guided tour? No, because I've done a couple of the tutorials already. And let's see, if we'd like to do it later, they'll ask us again, which is fine. And, ooh, that is a beast house. I mean, I'm not kidding, bro. That is a freaking badass house. I'm not even kidding right now. Now, we've got, let's see, looks like oh, hello. Welcome to your brand new farm in Bjornholm. If you continue down this slope, you get to the main area where you can find more introductory tips to the game. Sweet! Now, looks like we've got a combine over here already ready to harvest wheat, which is brilliant because we want to go ahead and get that started right away. Actually, that would be great just to start that process. I'll go ahead and start doing it for a little while, and then I'll hire somebody to do the rest. So let's go ahead and turn the... What? Oh, yeah, okay. Forgot about that. Let's see. Unfold. Now we can power it. Dang it! There, we're good to go. Now, the cool thing about Farming Simulator is that it is by far one of the most chill games you will ever play in your entire life, pretty much. And I'll check the volume later on, as soon as this video is done actually recording, and I'll make changes if need be to the volume. And also, you guys can kind of chime in on that too. Let me know if you guys think that I should change the volume, because sometimes you guys are like, yeah, you absolutely need to change the volume, and other times you guys are like, no, leave the volume the way it is. It's perfectly fine. Like in MX vs ATV, which another episode of that is coming soon as well. But in MX vs ATV, I thought for sure that you guys were going to want me to completely change the volume, but you guys were like, no, the volume is great, leave it exactly where it is. So, for that game, I decided to leave that volume exactly where it was. So, if you guys want me to change the volume in this game, or leave it the way it is, we'll definitely see what we can do as far as that goes later on. Now, I like the interior view. That's definitely an improvement from the last game. I didn't play the last game a ton, but I did play it a little bit, and I can certainly tell you that the interior view is a noticeable improvement over the last game. I actually like these types of simulator games a little bit more than it might, I guess you could say, let on, because I mostly play, obviously, racing games, as you guys know, but I was really big into Roller Coaster Tycoon, or at least I used to be. That game was insane. It was absolutely amazing. Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, I just even talking about it right now, so much nostalgia, really. So much nostalgia over Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I remember making so many different parks in that game, and I don't even know how many hours I'd put into that. I mean, I played the game when I was like, I can't even remember, like 12 or 13 years old, and like I said, I put so many hours into that. It was Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. Those were, like, the games. Like, that was what I played, like, religiously. So, those are definitely, both of those games definitely hold a special place in my heart for sure. Because they were just good. Like, there was just something about them that was just so good. They had a quality that just made you never want to put them down. You know, it would make you... They were the types of games that made you kind of break your own schedule up a little bit, just so you could have extra time to play those games. I mean, yeah, I'm probably not doing this the exact proper way, but I kind of prefer to do it this way because I feel like you can get more area done quicker, I feel. But it just depends on what you want to do. You could do it this way, you could do it the way, like, just back and forth across the field. I mean, how full are we right now? It's almost, okay, 50 or 49 and 50% full. So the thing is, when you get into doing a task in this game, you're like, before you do it, you're like, oh yeah, I'll go ahead and hire a worker. But then after you start doing it, you're like, you know what? This is kind of fun in a Euro Truck Simulator kind of way. It's weird. I only use Euro Truck Simulator as an example because even though you're doing a repetitive task over and over again, it's not boring. I mean, to some people it might be, yes, and I fully understand that. I mean, when I started playing Farming Simulator for the first time a while back, I was like, oh my god, this is the most boring thing ever. But then I started to get into it and I realized there's more to it than you might think that's just kind of on the surface of the Farming Simulator games. And I think a lot of people might end up doing that in the beginning. They might end up being like, "Oh, this isn't fun at all. This is just boring. How could anybody like a game like where you just drive farm equipment back and forth?" Well, once you start to get into it, there's really a lot more to it than that, and it's a hell of a lot deeper actually than just that. And maybe if you haven't tried a Farming Simulator game before, I think Farming Simulator 2015 is a great way to get into it because it's a lot more, especially pleasing to the eye than the last one was. The last one was a little bit iffy on the graphics front, and I did show a couple of mods in that game. I can't remember what I showed. I showed I remember showing a Ram 2500 Cummins mod, and I showed a Flatbed Duramax mod. I showed a couple of other mods too. Can't remember what other mods they were, but I think I showed a couple of other mods besides those, and that game was fun. But it doesn't quite match up to the level of fun you have in this game, and I think that there's a level of oh man, what was I gonna say? There's a level of engagement here that just wasn't in the last game. It just wasn't to be found at all. And I figure since we're already at 75%, 76% now actually full in this combine, we might as well just keep going until it's actually completely full, because then I can show you guys how it's actually loaded into the trailer. And this episode would probably end up being really long, really long, but I feel like that's just the character of Farming Simulator, is that different games lend themselves to different lengths, depending on, for Let's Play episodes. And I feel like Farming Simulator is just one of those games where it's going to be longer. Like, the episodes are just going to be longer. That's just how it works. That's just how it's going to work. Actually, quick other subject that I wanted to talk about real quick is I've been getting a lot of questions recently on here on YouTube and also on my Instagram about when am I going to get new wheels on my car. And the new wheels have actually been ordered. Enkei Kojins 18-inch. 18 by 8.5 in the front, 18 by 9.5 in the rear. So they should be in by, I want to say Thursday, and then I'll hopefully be able to put them on either the following Monday or Tuesday, depending on what the class schedule at the shop looks like at college, because that's where I do all of the work on my car right now, is at the shop at the college I go to. And the cool thing about that is that if your car has needs anything done on it that applies to any of the classes you're in, you pull your car in and you do it. It's cool because then you get that experience of actually being able to work on everything yourself, and it's a really good experience, I think, to be able to really know your car outside of just the driver's seat and things like that. It gives you just that little bit of an extra layer of being able to know your car. But nonetheless, those wheels will be going on, probably, most likely next week they'll be on the car, and I'll be showing you guys video footage. There will also be a bunch of pictures. I'll put those up on my Instagram. And the actual lowering of the car, oh, we're full. The actual lowering of the car is going to happen in the spring. Coilovers are going to be going on in the spring, because the spring is when I actually have the class that coilovers apply to. So, like I said, that's just kind of how it goes. So once it's time for that, then I'll either be getting either be getting KW coilovers or RSR coilovers. Both of them are really, really good, but we'll just see when the time comes. So let's press O, get the pipe out, and hopefully it'll be... Nope. Reposition it a little bit. There we go. Didn't quite want to miss the trailer. If you miss the trailer, you're just going to dump everything all over the place, and you're going to be very angry at yourself pretty quickly. And you can see the level actually going down inside the Combine, which is really cool, that you can see everything working. You can see really so much of the stuff in this game working. You can see the little gases coming out the exhaust. You can see the wheat going into the trailer. Really, really nice setup that they have here, and I really admire what they did with this game. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that back in. And from here, we are... Nice voice crack. We're actually going to go ahead and exit the Combine, and we're going to go ahead and get in this tractor and drop off the load in this trailer. I know it's not full, but actually, speaking of which, before we go ahead and do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set a worker up to finish this field while we're gone, so we can have a the rest of this the wheat in the Combine once we get back. So let's go ahead and back this thing up real quick and hire a worker and exit the vehicle. And while we leave him to do his thing, you missed a spot. Damn. Hopefully he'll go back and get that. If he leaves that, I'm gonna be a bit mad. But we're going to go ahead and take this to be... Never mind. Apparently the trailer wasn't attached. Now it is. Now we're good to go. We're going to go ahead and take this and drop it off so we can get paid. And go ahead and change the camera view. The camera views are a lot more detailed now. They really are a lot more detailed. I mean, you pretty much feel like you're driving a tractor, really. I mean, even the gauges work. Or most of the gauges, anyway. Most of the gauges work. And you can see all the levers and the pedals in detail, which is really, really cool, and I really quite like what they did with it. And I love how the windows aren't completely, they aren't, all 100% transparent, you know, because, do I go that way, or do I go straight? I want to say I go straight and then turn in a little bit later. Yeah, I want to say this is where I turn in. I might be wrong, though. I might be completely off. Oh, yeah, I'm completely off. Okay. Actually, no, we're good. We just gotta go around the side. It's just gonna take a tiny bit longer. Which is okay. Yeah, forget the roads, just, you know, I mean, you got a damn tractor, just drive wherever the hell you want. And while we're here, BMW X5 and Ram 1500. I mean, they're debadged, but you still know exactly what they are. And basically, in order to unload this and receive the money for the job, all you have to do is drive right over it and then press Q to unload. The trailer will fold to the side and open, and then release all the cargo down into the area where you deposit it. So I actually didn't look to see how much we got paid for that, but I think we got paid, like, I don't know, $2,000 or something, 2 or 3. I didn't really look at the money, but I think from experience it was either 2 or 3 grand. We'll have to see. We'll have to check later. But from here, what we're gonna actually do is, you know what? There's a question mark out here. Or is this... No, it's a question... It's a tooltip, not a question mark, but... Does this mean land for sale? Yeah, okay. How much do they want for it? Okay, $57,000. We'll buy that later. Because it is a pretty badass field. It's huge. But, and it looks like that combine is still going. So we're going to go ahead and, before we finish up, I want to go ahead and go over to that other field and get a couple of things started over there before we finish up this first episode. You gotta come back and get this piece, you idiot. You've left that, see? Over there. You. I'm gonna fire you if you don't get that. Anyway, what we're gonna actually do is, since this tractor is gonna be used again for this field, we're gonna leave it right here, and we're gonna go ahead and just run. We're just gonna go ahead and run right all the way over here to the other field. Not really field, but the other tractor. And Okay, yeah, if you've got the corn to spare, you can refill your sewing machines at these pallets. The same pallets can also be found at the garden center. Now, we're going to go ahead and see what we can plant. Go ahead and attach it. And let's see. Oh, I see. They want to know what we want to get. Okay, I'll plant corn, I guess. And let's see. Refill. You can see the money going down as we refill it. And that wasn't too bad, actually. That wasn't much at all. So now what we got to do is... Okay, good. He's done. And you know what? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Here's what we're going to do. Before we start here... Wow, I jumped it. Before we start here... when we finish this episode off, before we start here, we're going to clean up what he left after I fire him. But, as you can see, he just left a big swath right there that he didn't even bother with. So yeah, go ahead and finish that up. And now we'll go ahead and head over to the trailer. We'll put what's left in here, even though it's only 26%. We'll go ahead and put it in the trailer, and then we'll actually save the, I believe it's called cultivating, for the next episode. So let's go ahead and extend that out. And you know what? I need to reposition. There we go. Okay, we're good. So once that's empty, which will take like 10 seconds, we will go ahead and... Yeah, okay, we're good. It's empty. Bring that back in. And once it's actually... Yeah, okay, it'll go in on its own. Good. So in the next episode, we're going to actually go ahead with the seeding in the next episode. We're going to save that for the next episode because I feel like this is a good length for this first episode. And let me know if you guys want to see this series continue on, because there's a lot more we can do in this game. There's going to be... there's logging with those crazy, like, 8-wheeled... almost like, they're like these mobile saw things. It's ridiculous, the stuff you can do with them. And there's a bunch of other things we can buy, as in, like trucks and farm equipment and things like that. So, also, you got stuff with animals that you can do. Anyway, if you guys want me to continue on with this series, then let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of it. And don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Talk to you guys later.